and services and to get knowledge of the company. I kind of understand why they feel like they have a right to the LinkedIn account because she created it on work time. You know what I'm saying? She was using it during work, attracting people to their business. So in that sense, I could see where that's one of those hairy kind of gray areas.
Right.
But it makes sense to me that you were doing it while you would work.
Yeah. I guess my issue is like when people get fired, what are you going to do with the people? What difference does it make?
Well, they would use them as potential customers. What they're saying is for all, I guess they didn't talk about how many followers that he
But
had.
JL, you don't have a gun shop anymore, so what are you going to do with these people?
Here's
They're not customers anymore, not of yours.
Here's what I think
I can see if he went and opened another gun shop and then no, I'm taking my people with me. You have to start.
I don't think that's what this is about. I think ultimately he's very vocal, and he used his Facebook and Twitter accounts to speak out about, gun rights. He felt the president was impeding, talking about, gun violence, and we need to have stricter gun laws. So I think he used his Facebook and Twitter account as a platform to speak on the Second Amendment.
And he can still do that.
But now they're saying they want all those followers to go to the gun shop. He said, at the same time, simultaneously.
I get it, and I understand it, and I agree. I'm just confused on what the gun shop wants with it. Like, what are you going to do with it?
They feel that it's a potential customer. And you did use it for the company purpose. You could be sidebar about it if you want to.
Yep. And that's what would have happened with me. Because if you hit me with jail time, you can have my password. Look, I'm not catching no mouse.
I ain't gonna clean your house. I ain't gonna fight your dad.
I ain't getting no password.
All right, that wraps up Tech Gone Wrong. So everybody be
Thank
mindful of
God.
your social
Yes.
media.
Yes.
We're gonna come back and do our final segment. Do you trust a TV doctor more than your own primary doctor?
We see.
We'll talk about it when we come back. The Maya Akai Show. somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about.
Sure.
But one of the things that's cautionary about the conversation is to understand he's talking to millions of people.
Right. On it or whatever the thing is. Okay, I could do that, but if I have like serious high blood pressure or diabetes or something of that nature, I'm not going to take a TV doctor diagnosis for that. I have to go consult my physician because there could be other things wrong, and because of my own personal situation, my diabetes and your diabetes may be two totally different
things altogether.
Absolutely.
All right, let's take a listen. We are ready to go.
You've probably been told your whole life not to believe everything you see on TV. But surely you can believe a doctor in just about any context, right? Well, not so fast. Research published in the British Medical Journal seems to suggest TV doctors aren't always the most trustworthy source of medical advice.
The group of authors who sort of conceived this study are all involved in primary health care in some way. And essentially we were faced on a frequent basis with patients who would come in and had questions about recommendations that they had seen on televised medical talk shows.
That's Dr. Christina Koronic, Associate Professor of Family Medicine at the University of Alberta. She and two colleagues led the study, which analyzed 40 randomly selected episodes of two shows, The Dr. Oz Show and The Doctors. The researchers checked to see how many doctor recommendations made on the shows are actually supported by medical research and how often the benefits and costs of each recommendation were explained.
On average for both shows, there was at least some evidence to support the recommendations for about 56% of the time. And if you separate them, the Dr. Oz Show, it was about 46%, and the Doctors, it was 63%. So on the Dr. Oz Show, evidence supported 46% of the recommendations, was not found for 39%, and then
Okay, so as they talked about the research from the doctors as well as Dr. Oz, and it's interesting enough to say that, and it's about a 7-minute podcast I posted to my page. I think it's really worth listening. Not that I think most people probably get caught up in the overall situation with believing what they see on TV.
Sure.
But the key things that it pointed out in the podcast that I really enjoyed was that, one, that diagnosis is not specific to you.
Right.
And sometimes thinning hair might be more of an issue
right.
than you realize, or brittle nails.
Right.
Or, things like that. You don't just say, oh, maybe I have a lack of calcium, improve your diet. Like, no, sometimes you need to get a full physical because there could be some underlying issues. Your body has subtle ways of telling you something is wrong.
Yes.
And though one symptom may seem like it's you can find a remedy to it.
Yeah, it's not universal.
It's not universal. And I said, a lot of times what those shows fail to do is to explain to people the extent of, okay, research says this, because that would end up being a 3-hour show.
Right.
And they wouldn't be able to talk about as many topics. Notice those shows go from topic to topic to topic.
Yes.
They wouldn't be able to devote that kind of time to multiple topics, especially if they really got into, the whole meat and potatoes of this diagnosis, this, and this. Like you said, diabetes is an interesting thing to bring up because though there's different types of diabetes,
yes.
but how I may respond to things may be totally different than how your symptoms of diabetes are.